can't fake it for you. I'ma stand on business.
There is no limitation but the one you create. You know what I'm saying? It's really a battle versus us versus our mind, not us and mankind, not us versus devils and low entities, but us versus our highest, and lowest self. Us finding that harmony, balance, and Trinity, that holy Trinity, you know what I'm saying? Us finding them high vibrations, us finding things that we can equip within our arsenal so that we can just grow and evolve, expand, you know what I'm saying? Life is just a big game of evolution, of expansion, of experience. So how much can you enjoy your experience? How much can you really open your mind, widen your perspective, pick up things to help you grow, pick up things that are going to benefit you, your life, and realize that you're just around the entire reality, entire world of just reflections of you. So you creating that imperfect limitation on yourself, realize that there's no limitations. They don't exist. We make them exist. We give that the value, you know what I'm saying? We give it the energy. Without our value and energy, it's not going to be nothing. It holds no value. It holds no correlation with what we want to do. Realize that a limitation is a rule. It's a circumstance. Or a limitation is a circle. It's a box, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to just, emphasize that rule. That's going to be a rule that you abide by. It's going to be a rule that you condition your mind is right, that you condition your mind is correct. Forward, knowing that there are no limitations, you're going to have to break that rule, right? You're going to have to break that limitation, break that idea, break that connotation within your head and realize that nothing is, too hard, nothing is, too difficult for you to really overcome, for you to really grow and expand to the person that you want to be. When you think limitation, you want to think of and then I can give y'all an example, right? Just as far as in limitation. So you take an ant, and I know plenty of y'all probably seen videos of just ants on the ground and people draw little circles around them or put like a little ring or whatever, or just take some water and just ride, whatever the case may be. They just do something to make him think that he is limited to that space, limited to that radius, limited to that box. Family, is the same thing with you and your reality. Don't think of yourself as an ant. Think way bigger than that, you know what I'm saying? But more so think about breaking that limitation, realizing that you crossing that path, you trying it, you breaking out of that fear box is going to expand you. On the other side of that obstacle, on the other side of that low vibration, on the other side of that situation, that breakup, that whatever the case may be, it's going to be abundance. It's going to be the gateway to abundance. Now, when you in a situation to where you just broke out of a limitation or you can't break that limitation, realize that everything is happening for you, never to you. Realize that this is literally your golden point to where you need to give all of your energy in. This is the most important part, you know what I'm saying? This is the breakthrough moment. Everything happens to us for a reason, and we'll start to get certain temptations or, certain energies with things that we need to do. You can wake up for work one day, energized, ready to go to work, happy to get bread in your pocket. Then months later, you could be tired. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get up. You don't want to answer that phone. You don't want to clock in. And that just comes from that energy, doing that over and over. It could be the simple thing. It could be the hardest thing. And I don't even want to, take a job and try to compare two different things because that's a whole different conversation. But just the limitation of breaking that obstacle, just the perspective and point of view of, seeing something that's not working in your favor and making it work in your favor. A limitation is nothing but a rule that you need to break from yourself. You could take your open perspective with just limitations, and you could be like, I'm gonna be the best rapper ever. I'm gonna make so much music. I'm gonna be the best clothing brand ever. I'm gonna make whatever the case may be. And then whole time, oh, what if this person think this, or I'm scared to step out this box, or I don't want to do X, Y, Z because of you putting a limitation on yourself. Oh, I know I can't do this, bro. That ain't even worth it, man. It ain't possible. Whatever the case may be, stop creating that limitation for yourself. Stop even thinking that bad, negative connotation. Start realizing that there are no limitations. There are none that exist, literally, family. A limitation is false allegations that you are creating within yourself. Realize that a limitation is nothing but a weak mindset. A limitation is going to be fear-based. Being limited, staying conditioned to exactly where you are is going to mean that you are in fear. You're scared to break out of that comfort zone. When you think limited, when you think defect, also think comfort zone. Realize that that's what's keeping you in a box. Remember, as I talked in our last video, if you haven't followed, man, join the Kaizen family, and we just dropping gems. Even if it's high motivation, even if it's just some funny videos, my IRL, artists, music, whatever the case may be, we ain't on nothing but high vibrations, and y'all can join the family, simple as that. But back on limitations, like I was saying, there are no limitations. Literally, we create them. We impose them on ourselves. So, you could take a child who grew up in the household of, make sure you do make sure you do X, Y, Z before you go outside because you know people are crazy and da 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 da. Well, that child is gonna build that conditioned mindset, that limitation in their head. Every time they go outside, every time they step outside, they're gonna think people are crazy. That's what they're gonna condition their mind is right. And it may not even be the step outside. It could be a whole different situation with individuals or yourself. But that just goes to show the example, you know what I'm saying, of breaking out of that limitation. Realize that everything that you imposed on yourself, everything that you absorbed, everything that you learned just growing up, everything, you know, everything. Be able to dissect what's working. Be able to have the discernment and utilize that. Realize what's keeping you limited, what's keeping you in a box, what's keeping you comfortable. Because a lot of times we can be okay and we can be satisfied because we're comfortable. You know, it feels good. You know, as long as I make it X, Y, Z, or as long as I'm here, I'm straight. No, we tired of making it. We tired of just getting by or just, you know, walking up the stairs. No, we surpassing goals. There are no limitations. We about to start taking this farther and farther. Start every day with really breathing heavy. You know what I'm saying? Take a deep breath. Close your eyes and really feel your prana going in your body. Feel all your life force energy and realize that you are dominant. Realize that you are amazing. Realize that you are unique, one of a kind. No limitation can handle you. You know what I'm saying? Realize that you are going to go outside every single day and just dominate principalities because limitations really don't exist. As far as in perspective, it can go back how you receive the information. What do you condition your mind is right? Because one person can think something is very difficult and somebody can think something is very easy. That just goes to the limitation or what they impose on their mind. The confidence that they give their self, the trust that they give their self, and realizing that, you know, no matter how this look, no matter how this presents to the present eye, there are no limitations. I'm going to dominate it anyway. No matter how my situation look right now or what happened in the past and this is a big one that I definitely wanted to add, and I'm glad that I just got that thought. Do not base your past experiences and try to implement that in the future, or don't try to, you know, take prior knowledge from the past or whatever happened in encounterments and then, you know, expect out of the future or impose that limitation from that past idea. So, example, I'm gonna give y'all an example, right? So, say you go outside and you're just trying to get faster at running, you know, you run track, and you've been running every single day, and you get your first meet, you know, your first competition, whatever the case may be, and you lose, you come in second place. Are you going to stop and quit? Oh my God, I can't do it no more. I know I lost, so basically because I lost last time, I'm not going to try. Basically because I lost last time, I'm not going to give 100% effort. Basically because I lost last time, I'm going to limit my mind. No, we got to be able to wipe that off and recondition our mind, you know, retrain our mind. A lot of times we give too much energy in the negative and not enough in the positive. Start by positively reinforcing those positive thoughts. Positively reinforcing those positive thoughts. Start giving that energy, acknowledging them, you know what I'm saying? Realize that those are going to overpower the limiting thoughts. There is no limiting beliefs, no limiting factors. There is nothing that exists unless you impose it on yourself. But y'all hit that like and subscribe button, man. I'm about to be dropping gems after gems after gems after gems after gems. Just remember that limitations don't exist. Y'all control the game. I love y'all.